Swap Sisters, Sisters with a Plan. Could you actually both introduce yourself and what's your position with Swap Sisters?
Okay. My name is Varia Horton, and I am the founder of SWAP.
Okay.
My name is Ashley Costin, and I am the secretary of SWAP, and also her cousin.
So, Swap Sisters. We're going to start off, well, I already kind of told the viewers that what SWAP meant, Sisters with a Plan. So, I'm going to get kind of straight into it. What was the motivation for Swap Sisters, for SWAP?
The motivation started with me and a girlfriend of mine named Nicole. We worked for a company called Volunteers of America.
Okay.
And we wanted to be able to offer more services than what they were offering. They had services, but due to so many homeless individuals, the homeless population is increasing.
Right.
We wanted to get on board so that we can offer the services as well. And then we could, partnership with other individuals, so whatever they lack, we could pick up.
And vice versa, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, Swap Sisters, Sisters with a Plan. What's your plan? What's your agenda? Like, with this, besides just helping homeless, is it a certain target that you're targeting? Females, kids, men, or is it just
Anybody. You could be a homeless man, family, teenagers. We want to start off with a day shelter where they come in and be able to wash clothes, eat, make phone calls, receive mail, take showers,
Right.
whatever they need to help them on day to day. And be able to provide them with other services where if they need shelter that night, we can link them with services where they won't have to sleep on the street.
Okay. And this is all founded by yourself.
Yes.
You so doing something like this. Have you ever been homeless? I'm sorry, just asking.
Nope.
Because sometimes, some motivation comes from something that happened to you or somebody you personally know.
I've never been homeless.
Right.
I grew up in the projects.
Okay.
I have been a victim of possibly being on eviction as a kid
Right.
with my mother. But I've never actually experienced homelessness. Have
Okay.
I worked with them for forever? I have. And I see that it's not just, I don't want to do nothing, so let me just sleep on the street. It's people who are really working that just can't afford a place to stay.
And being someone who just drives around Baltimore City, after a while you see so many homeless people. So you just start to have a mind frame that some people do it for a job. I've been Walmart, I never forget. I was at the Walmart in Owens Mills. This lady and her daughter was asking for money. Gave her money. When I was coming out of Walmart, I seen her walk into a Benz. So it kind of taints your heart sometimes when you're one of those people who think you're helping somebody, and next thing you know, they're walking to a freaking car. And
Yeah, but I think a lot of it too is the disparity aspect. Like, they're homeless and they want help, but you can't have that without this. Like she said, as far as the address, you can't get social services if you don't have an address. So that's one strike against them. And then on the flip side, you can have someone who works and walks to a Benz and the lights are off.
right.
So, it's so many different forms of poverty.
right.
But as far as being homeless, I've never really experienced being homeless. I've came close to it.
Right. Absolutely.
Very close to it. But, it's just about giving people opportunities, and that's what I think this city lacks. Because even if you have a shelter, they have to be there from a certain time. But what are they supposed to do between this time and that time?
Right.
Pander, maybe rob. What are
Right.
they supposed to do?
It's
in
no
the time
structure.
in the time that the state paid social workers are in there at the
Right.
desk. So, it's just like we just want to kind of bridge the gap. And I like to focus on women more so than men, but she likes to focus on everybody.
Right.
So, I guess that's just me, but,
right.
Poverty strikes us all in some kind of way.
Yeah.
So,
I actually absolutely agree. It's like everybody have their own struggle,
Right.
in a sense. You just kind of never know. Some may be weak or stronger than others, but the struggle is really real. So, Swap Sisters, Swap. I keep on having sisters on the end. Swap. Thus far, what have you done, or are you? I know this is a nonprofit organization. are you already registered in the state of Maryland, or like what's going on with that avenue? Like,
we're registered in the state of Maryland. However, we have not obtained our nonprofit status from the IRS.
Okay.
And that's what we're working towards. It takes a while.
So for someone like myself who's interested in nonprofit, I do a lot of reading on it. What are the hardest steps you would say as far as the nonprofit, and if you can give somebody just, for instance, myself, motivation, advice, something to stick to as far as that nonprofit is concerned?
Well, from my experience, I'm going to say have patience, because it takes a long time, and it's a money situation. You can easily do your paperwork, but once it gets to the IRS status,
right,
it's either you're waiting for them to say yes or no, and that's the hard part. Because even if you feel like you have completed everything and you've done it right, they can always send it back and say, no, we need more information, or tell us, why should we allow you to do that.
Right.
So that's the, the biggest, hardest part. But I would tell anybody who want to do it, you gotta have patience. Yeah, you definitely have to have patience. It's a process.
Right.
And be nice to your uncle. Sam, baby.
Right.
Uncle Sam,
right. That's right.
It's just a lot of red tape for nonprofits, and I don't understand.
That was
easier to get a small business. Like, it's easier to do things that don't really benefit people.
That's actually what's about to be my next statement. I'm glad you mentioned that, Ish. But it's so weird. Like right now, I can go to the state of Maryland down on Utah Street, in which I have done this when we started Ambrosial LLC, our catering company. Go straight down to Utah Street, fill out some papers, sign, get them 175, and here's my LLC, and then take it down to get my tax ID number, all within one day. And
but getting your nonprofit status from the IRS could take a year or more.
Right. Yeah. So my next question, as far as that, and maybe Diamond, we should get somebody from the IRS one day to come in, because that is so interesting. Because absolutely, don't worry, I found them. We can have them both here at the same time. Let them know, because they all need to know. Because that is so interesting, because I'm just in the beginning stages. So I'm learning, listening to you guys. Like, that is so, and just to know that I went and started my business within one day.
One day.
Which is only benefiting myself.
And they don't care whether you make $1 or 300,000.
Right.
It's irrelevant to us. Just make sure you give the state their money. And the state has a lot to do with the homelessness that takes place.
Absolutely. Too. And it's kind of like, I want to touch base on that, because Diamond, he's so pro-mayor, and we done had our own differences. And exactly, me and Diamond always have our own differences as far as the city, the state, these policies, their code of conduct as far as the police is concerned, just like the whole nine. I don't think, do they have one, Diamond? Crickets.
I don't. What's the question? What do you mean? Is there a code of conduct for the police? Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Now, are you asking me, do they abide by the code of conduct?
It must be written in Braille.
But it is definitely a code of conduct. Now, let's be clear. All police officers are not bad.
No. I would never
all
say
city officials are not bad.
I agree with you there.
You know what I mean? All black people are not bad. All white people are not bad. I mean, just,
that's true.
So sometimes I think that with the police, we kind of lump them all in one category, but we don't do that with other people, other jobs.
When you're, say for instance, these two are bad officers and I'm the good officer, but I watch them do something and I don't say nothing, that then makes me a bad officer as well. So to me, it's kind of like, it's the same difference.
Slow down. Why?
It kind of does.
Does it or doesn't it?
It does, because if you have a code of conduct, so just because they not following what's supposed to be going on, I should step up, and if this is the job that I really, I'm into,
I think it's a way to handle everything.
I'm gonna stay who I am, and just because they want to be crooks,
it's a way to handle everything, and it's a code of conduct on the streets.
Yeah.
It's a code of conduct in your classroom. It's a code of conduct here at Radio on Fire. I mean, it's a code of conduct everywhere, and so just if you're on the outside looking in, so those officers that do something wrong, the good officers, there's a certain way that I'm sure they have to attack it so that they are not targeted themselves. So I'm sure there's a certain way that you got to do it. Just like in the streets, there's a certain way you got to handle things.
We need to have a street 101 because these guys on the street, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to do with you, the Swap Sisters, to kind of get your perspective on certain things. I wanted to talk about a few things just within the community, you know what I'm saying, and see how the woman of Swap would feel about, or, you know, if just input, because once you start a nonprofit, to me, besides just homelessness, you know what I'm saying, that can stop a lot of crime. You know what I'm saying? It just, your position can change a lot of lives, which is so amazing. Thank you guys for coming on, because it's really, really, really dope.
Yes.
No, but one thing I wanted to talk about is Freddie Gray.
Okay, great.
So, what were you all's perspective on Freddie Gray? Then I'll take it from there.
Great.
Or actually,
I am
look.
a Morgan alum and I'm a poli-sci major and I'm ready. My perspective is, well, for one, I have to start from the beginning. I have 2 sons.
Right.
And they're going to grow to be men.
Absolutely.
And they should not be profiled or wrongfully searched. Like, I constantly go over laws with my children and let them know this is what they can do, this is what they cannot do.
Right.
Now, how you handle yourself is going to be a testament to what I taught you.
Absolutely.
But I can't always save you.
Right.
Now, in the Freddie Gray situation, so many things went wrong in the beginning of this, which is why I believe that they have been targeting him for a while.
Right.
So you see somebody on a bike that's not illegal in Maryland.
Absolutely not.
You see anywhere in the world. Well, actually, you're right. You have a pocket knife that's the size of what, 7 inches, 6 or 7.
It was less than 7.
Yeah, it's less than 7, which is legal. I'm gonna chase you down. One, I'm using manpower and efficiency that I could be using for a real suspect in a real case, because somebody got served that morning somewhere right around there. I can promise you that somebody bought some drugs immediately when that was going down.
Absolutely.
But you choose to follow this man on a bike who is not a threat, is not bothering you, is not harming anyone. You chase him down, you brutalize him, you throw him down. The man is screaming for assistance, and you still not giving it to him. And then you throw him in a van. Now, your whereabouts are unaccounted for.
Right.
So he's in this van, and you are on the state's time. So I know I work for the state. I got to be accounted for.
Right.
I can't leave out of DOC building and say, oh, I'm going to go to Rundle Mills. No, you're not.
Right.
So your whereabouts are unaccounted for, and then you want us to believe that you don't know what happened to him.
Right.
Now, if we remove Freddie Gray and we put Blake Ryan,
right,
the city would have been shut down.
Is Blake white?
Blake is white.
He said
Blake is any origin other than African American.
Right.
So I mean, it's just so many things wrong with it that I can't even begin to express what's exactly wrong with it. But
exactly, because everything. Yeah, it can't be one particular thing.
It's like a bullet list of things that's wrong with this issue.
Absolutely. So with me asking that question, I've worked with 2 nonprofits before, and we have conversations with people. They just don't be open. And that's how you can tell if somebody is or isn't about the people in the city. Because if you are, you have an opinion on everything that's going on right now. So it's just kind of one of those things that I feed off. And some people I watch actually wanted me to ask you guys that question. Someone emailed me and asked me to ask about Freddie Gray. So that's why I touched base on that. Diamond, let's go on a quick break. We're going to come back. I'm going to chop it up with the swap. I was going to say sisters. We'll swap some more. And we're going to play a game that I have called Quick Hands.
Okay. Cool. We ready.
We'll be right back. No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm saying? It seems like sinning the only way out the grave. So I sin, watch that money spent. I sin, watch that money spent. I sin,